esports has gone up like a rocket, boom, straight up. And the money that's coming in now is insane.
Six-figure salary in the spotlight, on stage, and some of them are just wholly unprepared.
This chair is $1,600.
$1,600
for this chair.
I'm living a dream for a lot of people, but yeah, sometimes it sucks because of all these drawbacks.
You guys have to rush! You guys have to rush!
So there's this badge of honor in esports that I grind. I play hour upon hour upon hour upon hour. I put in, if I grind more, I'm going to get better.
If I play for too long, I'll get pain at the end of the day.
Too long meaning how many hours?
Like 8 hours.
If he can be successful playing video games, wanted to pursue this, I would be very supportive of it.
Got him, honey. Gotta have more confidence.
Everyone knows there's burnout in this.
Depression, anxiety. There's a lot of pressure to do that kind of extra work. I love this industry, but somebody has to talk about what's wrong with it.
I usually wake up to warm up and just to see how good I'm doing, like mentally and physically, and if I'm prepared to play for 6 to 7 hours a day. I get really lost in Overwatch sometimes. My life is kind of esports in general. My whole life is just waking up and grinding.
Indy Halpin is a rising star in the esports world. He was recruited straight out of high school to play the game Overwatch for a professional team, the LA Valiant. Indy's fans know him as Space, the alias he uses in competition.
This was probably one of my first pieces of fan art that anybody ever gave to me. 2 fans that have been LA Valiant fans for a long time and always supported me even when I was like kind of unknown and on the bench. They gave me this. This is pretty meaningful to me.
When is the last day, like a full 24 hours, that you did not touch Overwatch?
The last day I didn't touch Overwatch was Sunday.
Oh, so pretty recently.
Yeah, when we were moving, actually. So I couldn't play Overwatch that day.
Indy's contract includes a salary and perks like this spacious apartment, bankrolled by what has become a nearly $1 billion industry.
This is the line to get merchandise. It is the longest line I've seen in here.
Esports has a huge fan base that pack arenas to watch their favorite players go head-to-head. It's become a business that pioneers of competitive gaming could not have imagined only decades ago.
Yes! At least if I get one hit in, I'm happy.
As far back as the late 70s, early 80s, sort of this idea of, hey, these video games that are there for fun and entertainment, there's people out there that are real good. Well, how do you prove you're the best in the world? The only way that's gonna happen is if the best players in the world get together. So someone had the idea, right? Let's put a prize pool on this. I would say that one of the most notable early examples of this is actually with Quake, where John Carmack, the developer of the game, said, I'm going to put up my personal Ferrari as the prize to the best Quake player that we can find.
And I remember realizing that I was gonna win, and I actually noticed the reflection of the Ferrari in my monitor in those last few seconds, and I got really nervous.
After his 1997 victory, Dennis Fong was recognized in the Guinness Book of Records as the world's first professional gamer.
When you became the first esports star, as you say, it was almost accidental. It was the right place at the right time. As far as you see it, how has the industry evolved just in the past few decades?
I mean, it's evolved a ton, obviously. When I first started, you're talking about having hundreds of spectators in a room, which was a lot back then. Now you're talking about tens of thousands of spectators, equivalent to, real sports.
This is what people are interested in, and around the world for that matter.
Steve Cohen is Chief Strategy Officer for AEG, the largest sports ownership group in the world. AEG's portfolio of over 43 professional sports teams boasts several successful esports teams as well, including INDY's team, the LA Valiant.
How do you measure the size of the esports market? How big is it?
900 million to $1 billion for this year, and expected to go to at least 50% over that by 2020. Here at Staples, we sold out a tournament in less than 15 minutes. You've got public companies like Activision Blizzard or EA Sports. These are multi-billion dollar companies. You start adding all of the values of those companies together, you're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars right there.
Esports is dominated by teenagers and men in their 20s. Yuliang Peng, who goes by Doublelift, is a veteran superstar of his game, League of Legends, at just 25 years old.
The first pro player I've ever known of was just Doublelift.
Like what he stands for, how he approaches the game, I think is a really intelligent way of going about it. So I just wanted to support him.
You can find a way. You lean on each other, you lean on your experience, and you believe that there's a way. So take a deep breath and strengthen that idea in your mind that you have so that you're decisive, even when it's hard.
Top players like Peng train in state-of-the-art facilities with luxuries other pro athletes have had for years.